Alrighty, good morning, guys. I know this is a little bit of a later video, but just had quite a busy Friday, Saturday, so finally have an option to get a video out. So, just looking at that, guys, it's just been an awful week. There's just nothing else to be said. I mean, down 20% on the week, not a good time, really. Yeah, this was just a bad week. This was such a dramatic week too because I think the volatility is playing with my head, right? Because we had this big shoot up right before earnings, right? We were doing really well, sitting pretty up 30% on the month, and we were kind of sitting around here, and then for some reason that doesn't make any sense to me, but for some reason, positive earnings then led to just a sell off. Maybe, and this is probably my thinking of as to why that had sold off, is because what must have happened is the people who were holding here, right, must have saw it go up, maybe didn't sell or whatever, then saw it continue to go down and thought, okay, well, oh my God, I'm gotta get out of here. So with that being said, 3 months is now awful again. We were actually up on the 3 months for half a second, and we're just back down. So really, just kind of obliterated our gains from the week before, and really just a depressing, sad week, guys. Because we really, and honestly, earnings was our catalyst. Like I fundamentally don't see another reason for this to pump. So yeah, I really don't see a single reason for this to pump. Again, it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, I mean, but maybe that's when it will, because it makes no sense. Like when it does, like right when there's, to me, a reason to buy and for things to go up, it typically doesn't. Unless, however, during the momentum here, when we had this momentum going, that was fundamentally better. So we did pull out a little bit. We sold some ITP shares earlier, but that was mainly just to cover some bills and whatnot. But oh man, and then we have a account deficit, but that's only because of my Robinhood situation, or my Robinhood goal. I just didn't keep buying power in there. But we that's not a problem when I go buy some more. But yeah, I mean, just an awful week. I mean, ASXC altogether traded down 14%. Just I don't know, man. I mean, it's not. I'm more or less upset because I'm seeing my portfolio go down. I'm not selling anything, so I'm not like pulling out. But I'm just upset that I see it going down. Even though I know it's going to go back up, it's just upsetting in this moment. And there's always that doubt and fear that creeps in my head. Like, should I get out? Should I get out? You know, I mean, are there other places to put my money? And I'm going to stay. I'm going to stick through it. I mean, this was just a really awful week. I didn't really want to make this video because of how bad of a week it was. Just a really disappointing week. I mean, wow, right there, ready to kind of pop back off, expecting a little bit of a drawback, but to go all the way back under 180, I mean, and then maybe looking towards 160 towards the beginning of next week. I mean, I just don't see a reason why I mean, it's a great company, but there's got to be something going on where people are just letting this price drop. I mean, there's not enough bulls on this stock anymore, and I think when the bulls come through, we'll be good. But for now, we're really just, it wants to go up and then comes right back down, and it seems like it does seem like if it does sort of go up a little bit, we can see on the 1 year chart, or at least within the last, I guess, 3 months, maybe we'll look at right. Yeah, sure. We'll look at this, right, where it was kind of going down, and now we could see at the very least, even though maybe it didn't peak all the way up here, we're starting to see that little movement that might be, an upward movement. But, we should see some returns come back, and that's what I'm expecting for next week. We are expecting some returns to come back. Yeah, just a rough week. And then that doesn't even mention, I mean, ASXE, but that doesn't even mention, DPW, 8% this week. Where is ITP? I sold the shares, so I have to go through manually. But ITP down 6% this week. So every single one of my stocks got murdered this week. So it was a very, very rough week for me. I really just don't want to even talk too much about it. I mean, you know what my sentiments are. We're gonna hold. We're gonna stay. I mean, we sold some ITP. So yeah, we're gonna need to figure out a new entry point some point. I think our best bet is, once again, is, I mean, I'm annoyed because I play with options in this, and it's just getting to the point where it's getting really frustrating to want to do so. I might just start buying just shares only, just so that I don't like lose my mind every 5 seconds. Just because I don't know, I don't want to have an early heart attack. But just from the stress. But yeah, no, DPW once again has given nothing but good news and gone down 8%. That's what's really annoying. It's not so much as like, oh my gosh, so this crazy problem that we didn't see happened, and now there's this mass selling, and then I have to make a decision, right? It's like nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. As a matter of fact, nothing but good news. So for that to happen just frustrates me more than it does anything else. More or less my inability to keep pumping into it. So we're going to try to maybe get that average down. Maybe we'll try to do that. I think that might be our goal here. So maybe there's a little bit of bitterness and resentment just because I'm not really in a great position to buy right now. So yeah, I think financially we're just trying to, we basically just have to hope for a green week, just to sort of be able to fix our outside financial problems, outside of the market, and then go back in, just because, I mean, I am just a retail personal investor, so I have like a lot of other issues to deal with. So, playing the stock market is also a little bit difficult. But I think if we can get somewhat of a reversal, we might be okay. We will have to see. I mean, next week we should be a little bit better, fix up some problems, tighten up the ship, and hopefully get this going in the right direction. But we'll have to see. It's definitely going to be a head scratcher as to what we're going to do going forward. But for now, I think we're just going to have to just hope that we can see a better week, and we are going to need a big one. We're going to need a good week, unfortunately. But I'm getting just the sentiment, like, towards my own, just how since I've been so long invested with the stock. I feel like this is really just going to do a whole bunch of nothing for a few months now, while the market sort of like scratches its head about earnings and into the next earnings and the company in general. So I think while the market's scratching its head, we're going to have to sort of just wait to see some profit come through. Hopefully one of my stocks can go up, ITP, DPW, or ASXE, just so that I can start. If you are going to, like, it's one thing it's one thing if they all go down, right? But it's like it's one thing if one goes down, but when they all go down like that, there's just nothing I can do. I can't sell anything. I just have to sit there and just watch it bleed. So it's really just an absolute worst case scenario for the portfolio. So really just an awful week. Just not happy at all about the performance this week. So yeah, there's definitely upset. There's really just an upset video, but I'm not going to be selling. I physically can't sell, and I unfortunately can't buy either. So I think that's really what's upsetting me the most, is that I have to hold, and then I might even need to sell just to, like I said, fix some financial issues. So I might have to reduce the size of my portfolio again, which is really frustrating me. So there's a lot of frustrating feelings going on right now with this portfolio, and being forced to take losses is never fun, especially when you love your company. So being able to sort of, see that and realize that, I think, is important, and trying to come towards a different idea isn't really what I'm looking towards. I think right now we just want to concentrate our wealth in these three companies, and eventually I think we will start seeing a turnaround. It's just more or less just, you got to be willing to deal with the volatility when you do penny stocks, and if you're not, then you're going to be you're gonna sell, and that's what I'm avoiding. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to let the volatility scare me away from what I know is a good investment. So I'm holding strong. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm holding strong. Took a beating this week, and I'm predicting at the very least we should have a better week. We should, like, realistically speaking, it's kind of crazy if we don't, just because but then again, the market's so irrational. So it's not a rational market. Yeah, so we have to stop approaching like this is going to be some rational market making all the rational decisions. Like, no, there's a very real chance that we have another bad week and we keep dipping. But it's got to turn around eventually. I mean, the stocks can't just go down; they will go back up, and hopefully we can build some momentum and see some serious changes, because we're going to need those. But with that being said, guys, that's really it. That's really it. It's not even really just just an update on the numbers, I guess, at most. Nothing crazy. I just sold ITP and just lost a bunch of equity in terms of value with ASXC, DPW, and IDP this week. So just really just a tough one, but hopefully we will bounce back. But we'll see. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching Arcane Investments. Please join the Discord if you want to speak to any other investors or myself, and let's get ready for next week. All right, bye.